So in this video we're going to go through completing a square with coefficient of a equals to 1 and coefficient of a greater than 1. So you know that you need to complete the square when the question is actually asking you to write your answer in a certain form. That form has usually got brackets squared and plus or minus a certain value. Also, you know that you need to complete it if the question is asking you to give your answer in third form. Obviously, you can use a quadratic formula to also write it in third form, but when rearranging in order to solve your equations, you do get it as plus minus a square root and take away or add a certain number. So it's really important, okay, when you're solving these questions that you remember to put plus minus a square root, okay, because we have got a quadratic equation which will have two solutions for it. So we will start with three different questions when completing the square. As you can actually see, two of the questions have got a coefficient of a equals to 1, and the other one's got a coefficient of a which is larger than 1. So simply the basics: what is the value of a, what is the value of b, what is the value of c for us, in order to actually think what formula we're going to be using for it. So the first two questions I would say are grade 6 to 7 questions, and the last question is actually a grade 8 question, possibly 9, depending on how hard numbers they're giving you. So the formula that I use is x plus b over 2 all squared, take away b over 2 squared plus c. Please note that you're always going to be taking away because something squared is always positive. So the reason as to why I've got 7 is because it's half the value of b, which was 14. And now you'll notice that it's minus 49, add 49 will give you 0. So therefore the question just finishes x plus 7 squared. Same again for the next question. It would be x plus 3 squared. Now, if I had the value of b as minus 6, then it would have been x minus 3 squared. So please notice that I'm taking away 9. Yes, I'm not just adding 9. So at this stage, I'm not actually solving the questions, I'm simply rearranging. Now, for this question, you first need to actually factorize, because it's a lot easier to complete the square where your coefficient is actually 1 for a. So I'm going to factorize, we're going to put 4 outside the bracket, x squared plus 8x, close your bracket. Initially, I started factorizing with 4 too, but close your bracket there for us, and put plus 84 on the outside. So we're not going to worry about that 84 till later on. Now I'm going to complete the square for x squared plus 8x. So you notice that 4 outside the bracket again, x plus 4 squared, take away 16, plus 84. Don't forget to actually expand your brackets. So a lot of people will actually forget to multiply the minus 16 by 4 too. So please make sure you do that. So minus 64 plus 84. So the final answer is 4x plus 4 squared plus 20. Now, please feel free to pause the video at any stage that you want here. You can try any of these questions, because at the end of this video I will actually have all the solutions for these. So please spend a few minutes, put any music you want for yourselves and try these questions. Now, what if the question is actually asking me to solve these questions too? So one of the methods of actually solving a quadratic equation is by completing the square. So usually the questions would actually, so say for example, if I had question 1, it would be x squared plus 4x plus 2 equals 0. First step I would have to do is solve it, sort of rearrange it by completing the square. So x squared plus 14x plus 45 is x plus 7 squared take 4 equals 0. So I will move that minus 4. So x plus 7 squared equals to 4. Opposite of squaring something is square rooting, so it's plus minus square root 4. So x plus 7 equals plus minus 2. So your two solutions is x equals minus 9 or x equals to minus 5. Now, looking at this question here, I already know that I'm not going to have an answer. But say I write 14x squared plus 32x plus 84. I will complete the square, obviously because the question's there. Got it? 4x plus 4 squared plus 20. Now, if you rearrange this equation, you're going to have minus 20 equals to a square number. Now, a square number is always positive, so therefore I know that this will have no solutions. So let's see if we can actually solve one of them. So when completing the square, I get 2x minus 4 squared minus 2 equals to 0. So first thing I will do is put the 2 on the other side. So 2x minus 4 equals to 2. Please notice I'll divide by 2 first of all before square rooting. So x minus 4 all squared equals to 2 over 2, which is 1. So therefore x minus 4 squared equals to 1. So x minus 4 equals to plus minus square root 1, which is 1. So your two solutions is x equals 5 or x equals to 3. We'll try one last one where you actually don't get a nice number. So when rearranging this question, you will actually get that something squared is equal to 5 over 3. So I'll square root again, plus minus square root 5 over 3. So therefore x equals to plus minus square root 5 over 3, take 1. Thank you.